Hello and welcome to Lemon Drops and Lap Dances. I'm your host, Lori, also known as Hypnotic. Everything I know about how to succeed in love, life, and business, I learned while working in a strip club. And on this show, I tell it all. Join me as we dip our toes into hustle and club culture and learn how to win at life while we're at it. Let's get started. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today and spending time with me and just subscribing and listening to my show. I appreciate you guys so much. So, did you guys enjoy last week's show? Yes? No? Let me know. It's interesting because I tend to come up with these topics off the cuff while doing just everyday things and having normal conversations, which is interesting because I'm talking about being a stripper, right? I'll be talking to somebody or reading something and I'll have this light bulb moment and it'll be like, that's it. This is what we're going to talk about this week. And I can always relate something back to the club in some way, which is cool, yet kind of strange that I can relate an everyday occurrence back to the strip club. I guess it goes to show that, club culture and that kind of thing isn't as far as removed from everyday life as we think it is, which is kind of both interesting and scary. But I guess it just goes with the theme of the show as well, like relating everyday experiences back to the things that I've learned in a club. And that's exactly what I do here when I'm coming up with these topics. Okay, so we're here, episode 3. Yes, episode 3. I'm kind of shocked we made it this far, not gonna lie, but it's now that I realize that I'm really all in on this journey. And it's been cathartic, to get these things out and to truly show up being unapologetically me. Like, this is it. If I'm hanging out with my girlfriends, this is the Lori you're getting. I may be a little bit crazier with my girlfriends. They know that though. But we have conversations and I share life with them. And so it's just kind of getting an intimate glimpse into my life and the sharing of my stories, which is kind of cool. To be honest, I had reservations about doing this podcast, especially due to the nature of my husband's line of work. He is in ministry. And then I realized that I'm not that girl anymore. The girl that I'm talking about, the girl that was in the strip club, I'm just not her. And I'm just sharing a story of what worked for me from a season of life that is passed on. My hope is that I'm not judged too harshly for the things I did when I was younger, but that I'm accepted for the strength and resilience that I convey by having gone through the fire and those challenges and be still standing, because there are many other variants of this story that could have happened. And I'm just grateful for the journey that I'm on right now. And I'm excited. So this topic, your network is your net worth. Not sure who first said that. I know it's a quote. I know somebody famous probably said it, but I honestly don't know who said it. And I was just trying to get this episode together. So I didn't Google. I can Google. Here, let me Google right now and see who said that. Yes, who said it? It's coming up. It's an actual book. Hold on. It's an actual book. Let me see. It's on Amazon with a foreword by Guy Kawasaki, who is also awesome. So yeah, your network is your net worth. I didn't know it was a book. I just learned something new. I just thought of it. And that's pretty cool. So we just learned something today. So I thought about this topic as I was sitting watching my son at baseball practice. My son has been playing baseball since he was 4 years old. He's about to turn 14. So we've seen a few things in the sports world. Now, I don't know if you have kids in sports, but baby, these parents out here in these baseball streets, in these youth sports streets, it's rough out here. It's hard out here. Anyway, I say this because I have noticed that when my son is on a team, because we move a lot. We're in Nebraska right now. This is our 11th move, and we're getting ready to move again. Super excited. Y'all don't really like Nebraska. Put that out there on tape, on record, saying Nebraska is not for everyone. It was not for me. What I do love about Nebraska, I love the infrastructure of the city. It's amazing. And I wish more cities would have copied the infrastructure that they put here in Nebraska for like neighborhoods and highways and interstates and all that stuff. Is amazing. It reminds me a lot of Germany. And I do love the relationships that I've built here. Like I have made some of the most amazing friends, and I've met some of them. I'm gonna get choked up. I don't know if you guys notice, I'm just a big crybaby. Oh my gosh. I used to be really tough, I swear. But I have met some of the most amazing Black women. They are just simply phenomenal. And I am so grateful and blessed to call them my friends. So my girls, Katrina, Ebony, Erica, and Elisa, Soraya, I love you. And I'm so grateful that Nebraska gave me you. And then to my bestie, Megan, baseball brought me you, and I'm just so grateful. So when I say I don't like Nebraska in general, but the relationships that I've made here have been amazing. So back to the story. Sorry, I got off on a tangent. My bad. I just had to shout out these girls when I thought about it. So they're amazing, and I hope you have that. But it ties into the story, right? Your network is your net worth. Network is your net worth. I'll get it. It's a lot of ends. So I say this about baseball and just in general, all the things that I was just talking about, because I've noticed that when my son is on a team where the parents are collaborative, the team as a whole does so freaking good. They do awesome. An example of this is while we were in Maryland, my son played on a team of absolute rock stars. I mean, these boys were great. And we went undefeated that season. I believe the difference maker, and I may be wrong, but just from my observation, I believe the difference maker was having parents and coaches on the same page who supported the boys. And we as a parents supported each other, and we stood behind the coaches as well. So like it was just a very good, holistic, collaborative team of just good energy, good everything. And I know that's rare, but to have experienced something like that and just watching the boys grow and have fun, it was amazing. Then also in Maryland, Maryland was fun. We had a team where, again, all of the boys were beastly. They were good, but the parents and the coaches were not a cohesive team. And this, unfortunately, led to infighting within the organization, and parents were against parents, and parents were against coaches, and it was a mess. It was a mess. There was lots of immature behavior on both sides. And guess who lost out the most, right? The boys. Because they couldn't play to their best abilities because the parents and the coaches were being children. I say all this because I've always believed in a collaborative environment. And guess where I learned that from? The strip club. And when you think of a strip club, you think of like movies and all the things, and you think of this cutthroat dog eat dog kind of situation. And yes, 100%, it can be just like that. But when you're in the right club with the right people, with the right mindset, collaboration is not only possible, it's expected. Because when you're in that kind of situation, you know what? You're just trying to make the best of it. And you can either have a negative lack mindset, or you can have a growth and abundant mindset. And when you're in a strip club, an abundant mindset is an absolute must. So something I learned a long time ago is that not everyone is for everyone. I say this probably almost daily. Not everyone is for you. And I'm going to continue to say that on this show because it is an absolute truth. And it is okay. It is okay, you know? In the club, not every dude would like Black women. And you know what? That's okay. Well, what I would do in those times is figure out what my buddy was into and lead him to the right flavor so that my girl, my coworker that he's into is going to make her money, and that's totally fine. He wasn't in there not spending money. Somebody was going to leave with some money. So I became known as a connector. I just naturally connect people, and I didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize it in the strip club, but I mean, later in life, I learned that I'm just a natural connector. When I get to know people, I'm able to connect them with other people who are maybe can enhance their journey or whatever they're trying to do. Like if they are trying to get into photography, I know some photographers who that they can roll with and just kind of, or get them some gigs where they're trying to build a portfolio. I know people who are looking for headshots and this and that. So it's just really interesting that me, quiet me, am a natural born connector. And so I became known as a connector in the club. The goal was to make money. And when a customer came in, it was our priority to make sure that we as a collective was maximizing the amount of guap, as I like to call it back then, we left with every night, morning, whenever we left the club. We got so good, right, as a team of making sure we made money. And the thing was, did some people make more money than others? Yes, of course. That wasn't the focus. The focus was all of us as a collective not leaving the club without making money. Let me say that one more time. The focus was all of us as a collective not leaving the club without making money. That was insane to me, to have a team of people around me focused on all of us leaving there with some coin. That was amazing. And that was like a sisterhood that I didn't realize how important it was to me until like years later. But in that moment, I didn't realize how special that was to have a group of women doing the same thing, making sure that we are all taken care of. So what would that look like in your life? What could you or what would you do if you had a circle of folks making sure that you were living up to your potential? Whatever that looks like for you, and maximizing the ROI in life. For me, man, it has helped me learn that I can do things. For me, it helped me learn that I can have friends in my life that support me and that I can be a support for others, like in a reciprocal relationship. If you polled all of the girls that I just mentioned, my circle, they would tell you that I am their biggest advocate, cheerleader, and supporter. Always. 100% I have my girls. And they would also tell you that I speak the truth, even when it hurts, in love, so that they will grow and be and do better. The thing about it is, the girls in my circle are mature enough to understand the truth when it's spoken to them. And they know my heart behind it. So that's another thing. And I didn't even put that in my notes, but I just thought about it because we had another girl in our circle. And I think me and her just couldn't get along because we're both very strong personalities. But the thing is with me, what you see is what you get all the time, 100%. And if you do something, and it ain't right, I'm going to say something. Because in my spirit, I cannot just sit by and let you, as my person and my friend and my girl, my sister, make a fool of yourself for no reason and not correct you. Am I a friend if I don't correct or help you correct your behavior to make sure that you're the best version of yourself? Iron sharpens iron, people. Anyway, I hold my friends and my family up to a standard of excellence. And I hope and pray that they continuously and would always do the same for me. And I would expect nothing less. If I'm out here in these streets, in these military spouse streets doing something crazy, and I didn't know I was doing something crazy, I would like for somebody to let me know that, hey, sis, I'm going to need you to reevaluate your life and your life choices. So the moral of the stories that I've told you in this podcast today is get yourself a good network of people to help you excel and create the network you seek. I talk to so many people and they're full of excuses as to why this and that don't go their way or why this and that won't work. And I can't get behind those people because you guys heard my story, right? You know where I've come from, you know what I've done. So I can't get behind people who are full of excuses. I just can't. Sure, weigh out pros and cons, but don't let that cripple you from taking action to change your situation or change your life or to move forward past something that's going on in your life. Don't let the negative cripple you from taking action towards the positive. At the end of the day, listen, I know I say your network is your net worth. That is the moral here. That's the name of the episode. But at the end of the day, when you are accountable to nobody, and that's just fact, but the truth is, when you have people in your life that hold you accountable and to a higher standard, then you have a reason outside of yourself to excel. And those people can be anybody. Your parents, your kids, your spouse, your friends. In my case, it's my husband, my kids, my tight circle. I know that I am who I am because of the people I've chosen to surround myself with and because of the energy I choose to carry, which is positive, affirming, and life-giving. Was I always like this? Absolutely not. Nope, 100% not. I had to grow into this. I had to make the decision to either stay in a sunken place or grow. I had to act on getting better. I had to do therapy. I had to forgive some people. I had to make some tough choices, and I had to cut and prune people out of my life because not everybody should go with you forward, which is a whole nother episode in and of itself. So we're not going to go there. So during that pruning, I began to understand the phrase when I started cutting people out of my life, your network is your net worth. And net worth doesn't necessarily mean it always mean monetary. Your net worth is your peace. It's your happiness. It's the quality of life. It's whatever that looks like for you. Make sure your network aligns with the light of your life and the goals of your life and never leaves you in the sunken places. Okay. Guys, this is probably the longest one so far. It was a good one. I had so much fun making the notes for the show and just coming up with it. And I'm thrilled to have been able to share all of this with you. And I am so grateful for you and that you have spent time with me. And I appreciate you. And I just pray that you have a beautiful weekend and a very blessed week. And with that, this is Hypnotic signing off. I'll see you next Friday. Hi, friends. I just want to thank you so much for listening. Please tune in every week on Friday to discover more tried and tested insider tips for getting better at life, love, and business. Until our next episode, you can connect with me on Instagram at Lemon Drops and Lap Dances. And please don't forget to leave a rating and subscribe to our show wherever you like to get your podcast. I'm going to see you next week. And this is Hypnotic saying goodbye for now.